I recently had a coaching call with a viewer and a listener of the Doug Show, and I was blown away by his progress, his sort of new ideas that are maybe he borrowed some of them from older ideas and he's re implementing them right now. He's reached some very impressive traffic milestones in a short amount of time and revenue. And we're going to bring on Nigel right now and hear the story. So, Nigel, how's it going today?
Hi, what's up? I'm Nigel, and yeah, fine. Thanks for the invitation.
So, I want to get to the punchline right away so we can understand what you've been able to accomplish in kind of a short amount of time, and then we'll learn more about you personally and some of the details. So, just so people understand what you've accomplished, what were your, say, earnings and your traffic numbers from December of 2020, just to give them kind of a snapshot?
Yeah, sure. My traffic was 68,000 visitors in December only for one site, and the earnings with that were 11,000 something euros in December from that one site.
Okay. And I forgot that you would probably give the revenue in euros. So that is probably
Yeah,
roughly what, like $15,000, something like that?
yeah, 14, $15,000, something like that. Yeah,
All right. Congratulations. That's a great milestone. When did
thanks.
you start working on this site?
In September 2019, I started just blogging. I really had little idea of SEO or affiliate marketing. Back in the day, I used to sell a product, but then affiliates promote my product. So this is like the other way around. Yeah, I figured out this business model, and I thought this is really interesting. So I just went for it, and every day from I think September 2019, I'm working on the affiliate marketing business, and yeah, it's really working well for me.
Okay. So a little bit over a year. And like I said, we're going to get into some of the details because you're doing some things that are kind of unconventional from, the mainstream standpoint of, niche authority sites and that sort of thing. So pretty awesome. And do you happen to know like the total amount that you've earned over the course of the year plus or so?
Amount I earned from that website in 2020 was 30,000 euros, but then yeah, again in dollars it's much more, but it's 30,000.
Awesome. And how many sites do you have in your portfolio right now?
Right now there are like five sites that I'm really making money with, but this site is yeah far the biggest by far.
What are the revenue streams? Are you just earning from one source or a few different places? And you don't have to name all of them, but just kind of give us an idea what's going on here.
Yeah, I have like 15 different revenue streams, but yeah, not all are big as they are. I got three revenue streams that are yeah like the biggest, and then three or four that are something below that, and then like the other is yeah a couple of I don't know how many bucks, but not much.
Okay, cool. So you're probably earning from, you said like the top three sources for across the five sites. And is one of the sites earning a lot more than the others? Like, do we have a typical 80-20 situation with your five sites?
Something like that. Over 2020, one site was then 30,000 euros, one site 12, and then one, two, one, and 400. So, like one big, one not that big, and rest is like, yeah, 80-20.
Okay. That's amazing. That's pretty amazing progress. And let's get to know you a little bit. So,
Yeah.
who are you? What's your profession? Do you have a full time gig? And yeah, just a little bit about how you got into this too.
I'm 22 years old only, and I'm currently living in the Netherlands. I'm also born and raised here. When I was 14, I started actually an internet marketing company, but then I just created my own digital product. So it was a video course or an ebook that I sold, and then other affiliates promoted that product. Then I did a workshop, and then I quit for like 4 years, just living the teenage life. And then I'm in 2019. So I was 19 when I started doing this again. Then I was in school, but now, yeah, I quit school because I thought you can't learn this in school. And this business model is so great that, yeah, I don't need school for this. So I just quit school and now full time affiliate marketing.
Yeah, I mean, you're making more, or you made more last month than I made for several years. And actually thinking about like all your sites all together, you probably made more last month than I made at any month in my professional career. So yeah, you're doing a good job.
Thanks.
I guess like when you quit school, did you get a lot of pushback from like family and friends? Do people think you're crazy? Like any issues with that?
Not really much. My parents were like, "Oh, are you sure you can do this?" And of course, they had a little bit of trust in me because, like, when I was at primary school, yeah, I also did that. So yeah, why not? Can I do it again? But yeah, like my girlfriend was very supportive and still is. And yeah, not really. I was just, yeah, very sure of myself that I could do this.
And you're getting the results too, so it's hard to argue with the actual results that you're getting.
Exactly.
It's pretty cool. So I think you're probably using the same kind of methods to, publish content and rank it across all your sites. So we could just sort of pick one, the big site that's earning most of the money and getting most of the traffic, and kind of talk about how and why it's working so well.
Yeah.
So why do you think you've been able to get traction so quickly, especially when, a lot of people, even myself, will say, hey, 6 months before you hit $100, or maybe it's going to take a year before you hit $1,000, or some people are saying, hey, it's going to take you a couple years to really get much traction at all. So how'd you do this so quickly?
Yeah, well, I think there's not really a secret, but I think there's something that most people don't think of because, like, the most of the affiliate marketers in the world are from the USA or an English-based country. And yeah, I'm from the Netherlands, so I'm a native Dutch speaker, and I also speak a little bit of German. So what I did is what I built a site in my own language, and then after that, I translated it into another language that I was familiar with. So I think just avoiding the whole, yeah, like avoiding the whole affiliate marketing world and going to a different direction by choosing another country to market in.
Very good. So that means most of your revenue is from the Dutch, the Netherlands Amazon Associate Program, and other related.
It's funny, in March 2020, Amazon just started in the Netherlands, so their market share is pretty small. So I've got different revenue channels for the Netherlands, but in Germany, for example, I do have Amazon as my highest revenue channel there. It's my biggest revenue channel there in Germany.
Okay. So everyone listen and pay attention if you were starting to zone out. So Nigel's earning from the international Amazon Associate programs, and the Netherlands, I think they just rolled out their associates program, right? So are
Yeah.
the commission rates better because it's a new program?
Yeah, that's true. The Amazon affiliate commission in the Netherlands is 10% right now, and in Germany it's 7%.
Okay. So just right off the bat, it's kind of a game changer. Those numbers are so different than what we're working with in the US or Canada or UK or some of the other, I guess, more established associates programs. You did say that you weren't earning as much because from Amazon Netherlands because it's a brand new program. So people, I guess, you guys don't order as much stuff from Amazon because there's other businesses that serve the e-commerce space, right?
Yeah, exactly. There are other businesses, and they did really well in the Netherlands. So the trust here with people is with these companies instead of with Amazon. Amazon is really trying to, but yeah, it's not. It has been great due to the COVID virus and all. It hasn't helped him.
Gotcha. And what is the main company in the Netherlands for e-commerce?
You've like bol.com, that's BOL.com, and also Coolblue, that's COOL, and then
Okay,
blue.nl.
gotcha. Very cool. So it's just you're going to a different language and taking advantage of that. And what's the population in the Netherlands?
Right now it's 16.5 million or something.
16.5 million.
Yeah.
Okay. So and I just want to emphasize that because there's like other countries are picking up the Amazon Associate. Obviously, there are other e-commerce companies operating in different areas of the country. So if you have the advantage, the huge advantage of speaking multiple languages, or let's say you can understand English, you can understand me talking, but you mainly can write and communicate in your native language. Like, take advantage of that. Like, 16 million is seems like it would be a small population, but you're doing really well. So
Yeah.
this is just amazing. So any other details with just the operating in your native language and taking advantage of your, I guess,
Yeah, I think
advantage to be redundant?
I think it's important to understand that not only another country is another language, but it is really another country. So the things are working differently there than it's, for example, in the USA. For example, if you buy a coffee maker in America, then it's not the same model as they have in the Netherlands. So don't go now translate your whole website and don't change anything about the copy, because that won't work. You really need to understand the country that you're working in or going to work in. And I think then is when you can make a big difference in a country that you're, are not speaking the language of or not living in.
That is an excellent point, because I think some people are like, I'll just hire someone from Upwork, get it translated, and then
Yeah.
it won't make sense at all. Okay.
Yeah, no, true. I did that. I hired people through Upwork in the beginning, and then I got like several different people translating for me, and the keywords that they used in their copy weren't matching with the user intent from the people in that country. So yeah, it was not the keyword that people were looking for. So make sure that you understand the people and that you know what they're looking for.
Let's move into the content now. How much content is on that main site, and are you writing it yourself? Do you have some writers you're working with?
No, not yet. I'm
Okay.
not writing it myself. Yeah.
Everything yourself. Okay. And how much content is on that site?
I just looked it up and it was like 46 pages and 88 posts.
Okay. So it's something like 120 pieces of content roughly.
Yeah, something like that.
Awesome. That's, just amazing revenue from that amount of content. And from a keyword research standpoint, what kind of
Mhm.
search volumes are you going for? Are you going for long tail stuff, or were you going for some bigger keywords?
Yeah, I'm mostly going for the bigger keywords. Sometimes I go for long tail stuff. Yeah, the market that I'm in is consumer products, so they want reviews, etc. That are good long tail keywords because the conversion rate is mostly high there. But apart from that, I only go for like the main keywords, and the search volumes really differ much. Like in Germany, it's way bigger because way more people live there. So search volume there can go up to like 400,000 or 500,000 visitors per month for one keyword, and in the Netherlands it's like 20,000 to 40,000. There
Wow.
where I get my traffic from.
Okay, so you're actually ranking for some of these, like, quote,
Yeah,
fat tail keywords where maybe it's just the name of the product, like DSLR camera.
yeah, true.
Amazing. And most of the common wisdom on the English speaking affiliate marketing and digital publisher side is, go for long tail. It's going to take years to rank for something
Yeah.
big like that. So, what made you think you could rank for those big keywords? Were you just thinking, hey, I'm going to give it a shot because it's less competitive, because it's smaller countries?
Yeah, well, that might be the thing, but the websites here are still pretty strong. Like the big e-commerce brands still have domain authorities of like 70, 80, maybe 90. So it's still hard to compete with them. But because there are less affiliates here, I think having a different type of content for such big keywords, could rank really well, because maybe there is still no content on that keyword like the way I do it. So that got me thinking, like maybe I do have a chance, and that worked out really well for me. I actually.
Gotcha. Wow. Yeah, it's so cool because you don't hear those stories where, hey, I just started a site and I'm ranking for these keywords that get thousands or tens of thousands of searches per month. All right. So back to content. I went off on a tangent there. Do you feel like you were a strong writer before? Some people struggle with, just sitting down and writing a post or not sure where to start. So, are you a writer by trade? Were you pretty good at it in the past?
Yeah, I was pretty good at writing, but still there are a lot of grammar and spelling mistakes in my content. And every time I see them, I just edit them. And yeah, I'm like, everyone can make a mistake, and I'm just, yeah, practice by doing. So yeah.
Do you use any tools like Grammarly or anything like that? Or I don't know
No,
if
not really.
anyone.
I've tried Grammarly exact, but yeah, it didn't feel like it because in the Netherlands it didn't work that well, and I thought, yeah, just stick to my own language. It's yeah, good, understandable, and yeah, didn't need that after all.
Do you have any templates that you're using specifically for like your reviews? Any
Mm.
insights into that part of the process?
Kind of. I just yeah don't have them actually documented yet. I just have them in my head, and I yeah start with this and then go with this, and then have my own structure in how I build up my page. So yeah, kind of.
Okay. And then, getting into sort of the template idea, do you have any like theme that you really like or anything that you always use for each of your sites?
Yeah, currently I'm using on every site the generate press and then just the block builder, just so no yeah template editor or something, just the Genesis block builder.
Yeah, so Generate Press seems to be pretty popular, and I take it you have like the premium paid version for that.
Yeah, sure,
Okay,
I do.
gotcha. How about any plugins? Are you using anything for your link management or otherwise? Any favorite plugins?
Yeah, there's one I started using it I think last summer, and my conversion yeah was going up really good after that because it's like a plugin where you can display through APIs live your pricing and stock status and so. So it's like Content Egg, I think, or Keyword Rush, I think is the brand.
Okay, Content Egg. I've heard of that one. Yeah, and like when we looked at your site, I remember
Yeah.
seeing those displays. So those do look nice. I think a lot of times people use Content Egg with a theme called Rehub, but I found Rehub to be a pretty heavy theme with so many like page builder type things, and it was a little hard for me to use. So, okay,
Yeah.
so Content Egg, that's cool. Any other plugins you really enjoy?
Not really. I'm just yeah trying to don't have that many plugins on my site. So yeah, not really. Just content deck and the SEO, and then one plugin for speed, and yeah, just keep it simple and clean.
For the content team, you said, "Hey, I haven't gone that route," and that's actually one thing we talked about when
Mhm.
we spoke before in your coaching call. So, do you have any plans to bring on some folks, or where are you at with having a team?
Yeah, well, actually, today I decided that my girlfriend's probably going to work with me because she's still a student, and now she works for like a big electronic company. But I'm going to hire her in house as a writer, so she could go write for me.
Okay, cool. So keeping it in the house. That's good.
Yeah.
Do you have any concerns working with your girlfriend?
No, I don't think so. We're yeah leveling pretty good, and she really understands what I'm doing and very supportive all the time. So yeah, that will work out for sure.
Is she sitting right next to you? She made you say that.
No.
All right. All right. Yeah. For the podcast listeners, he turned the camera around. There's no one next to him. All right. Anything else with the content that you think is important that we didn't talk about yet?
Yeah, I think content length is becoming more important because yeah, there are like a lot of websites publishing content, and I think content length is yeah, don't write short content. That's it.
How long is the content that you're publishing?
Yeah, it's for every page or post I try more than 2,000 words.
Okay. Do you do any analysis for the specific keyword, or
Yeah.
do you just aim for the 2000 and usually that's good?
No, I always check if there are other websites that are covering that topic, and kind of using the skyscraper technique to make it the best page out there, but also like check the content length and see if there's any room to make the content better and then the same length or make it longer and better.
Got it. Okay, so roughly 2,000 words using skyscraper techniques, so you're making sure you're not missing anything. People can Google skyscraper if they haven't heard of that. So pretty cool.
Yeah. And then
awesome.
One more thing I think that is important in content. If your search volume, like the search volume we talked before, like the big ones, is if that's your goal, make it twice or 4 times as long as 2,000 words, because otherwise I think that won't work.
Okay, so the big search volumes, you're going to have to publish a little bit more.
Yeah.
All right. Before we move into some of the link building and off-page stuff, I'm going to give a plug for your new brand, I guess. It's digitalyoungster.com. So there's a landing page out there, and Nigel, I think this is cool. A little bit behind the curtain. A lot of times when I do an interview like this, I do encourage people to set up at least a landing page so you can, have people contact you. You don't have to do anything with it, but I'm glad you set this up. It looks good. Any thoughts about what might be coming in the future with digitalyoungster.com?
Yeah, sure. I'm having an email list right now, going to give you updates on how I do things out there and what my income reports are, and also give you tips about affiliate marketing and how to rank good content on Google and make your website go better than it is now. So
very good. So I'm giving you the plug early so people will actually be able to go over to it. I'm not going to bury it at the end. So digitalyoungster.com, there's a link in the show notes. It's just a landing page so you can sign up and get updates in the future. So that's pretty cool. Now let's move to link building. And I think this is another area where you've done something that a lot of people are not doing now. So what's your link building approach?
Yeah, well, in the USA, there are a lot of companies that you can buy guest posts from or something. So you can automate that process. But here in the Netherlands, there are no or few companies like that. So everything, you need to do it by yourself. And I figured that mailing all those websites with hello, I'm Nigel, and look, this is great content, please link to it. I thought I can do it myself and then faster and also have the full control of the anchor text. So actually I used a little bit of a PBN, but then through buying expired domains and linking a few to them together and then linking back to my website.
Okay, so you're using PBNs, and can you give us, and this is a private blog network, and for the people that are unfamiliar, basically you find expired domains, and those are domains that the webmasters have let go. They do not renew the registration, and they're available. And sometimes those companies, those websites have backlinks pointing to them, so they do have some kind of intrinsic value for link building. So this was a technique from years ago. Google really cracked down, but people still do it. It is more risky in a general sense because if Google identifies your network, then they will usually either manually penalize your site, or sometimes they'll just say, hey, we're not going to recognize the links from any of these sites, so your rankings will drop. So that is kind of the baseline of what a PBN is, a private blog network. And tell us about the process of finding expired domains. How do you do it?
Yeah, it's really, I use the site expireddomains.net. I think you know it if you looked it up before. You can create an account there, and then you have more functions to filter these domains. I always look up domains from like 24 hours or 12 hours or before that they dropped. So you're sure you're having a fresh domain, because most of the time the old ones are not the good ones. You need to find a fresh domain that just dropped and that's related to your niche in the same language, and the incoming anchor text has to be the same language, the page language, like I said, and it also has to have a good link diversification to make sure that Google will not slap them. You can't really make sure Google will not slap your PBN or your expired domain that you set up, but make sure that all those things are in place and that the spam score is 1%. The links to that domain are 100% like natural and not really spammy or shy. And I think that's where you have the most chance of accomplishing what I did.
I know that website. I used to go to it all the time because like I said, I dabbled with PBNs back in the day before I got penalized multiple times. And then I hung up that hat and I don't mess with them anymore. Do you think that there's less competition for the Netherlands or German
Mhm.
expired domains so that you are able to get good domains just because there's less people looking for them?
Yeah, I think so. I kind of like do know that that is the fact, because if I tried to find good English domains in the same way I was looking for like Dutch or German domains, but it's way harder to find good ones that are just dropped out because the most of them are going to auctions or bought by someone else, or in other countries I think the competition is very low.
And tying back to, I guess, the content and just the approach to go with Netherlands and Germany and languages that you speak, did you have like an epiphany that you were like, this is going to be lower competition, this is definitely going to work? Or you just thought, you know what, I'm going to aim for the language that I speak natively, and then it's worked out so beautifully?
Yeah, I thought that was the simple option because I'm 22 and my English is not that good either. So I thought writing a whole website in English is maybe one step too far. So I thought let's just start with my own country, and then if that's not working, I can always try to go to the English side. But that was really working so well that I just didn't stop doing it.
Absolutely amazing. Yeah, it's simple, right? Just
Yeah.
use your native language. It's going to be easier overall, and then you're actually probably making a lot more than you would have if you figured out how to do this in English. So, wow, pretty cool. For the expired domain, for people that maybe want to dabble with PBNs, are there any resources, because I'm kind of out of the game, resources that you use specifically for understanding how to avoid leaving a footprint so that your PBN perhaps is a little more secure and less risky?
Yeah, so tips on how to build a good PBN, so not be spammy or that Google finds it very quickly. Yeah, always make sure that your domain name is on a new IP address. I always make sure that's the case. If it's the same IP address, like if you have two websites and you register them at your hosting at the same time, most of the time there will be the same IP address linked to it, and then Google will see very quickly that it's a PBN. So make sure that's not the case, and also make sure you don't be a spammy website. So also every expired domain has to have a contact form on their page and has to have an about us page and a few messages, and then you post your link. So be very natural and not spammy at all actually.
So, with the different IP addresses, does that imply that you're hosting each one of the domains like at a different hosting company?
Yeah, I first did that, and then I found one hosting company that just if I wait for like 3 days and then register a new domain, it gets automatically a new IP address.
Okay.
So it's just one company.
And there's a few companies that actually cater to people that need to host PBNs, and
Mm-hmm.
I'll put a link in our show notes and stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
basically, they have these accounts with a bunch of different hosting companies, and then they're kind of a reseller, and then they'll
Yeah.
allocate your domains to different sites, and then you kind of take advantage of the fact that a bunch of people have PBN, so it looks a lot more natural. It's funny that like a whole service industry popped up around creating fake networks with fake websites just for link building. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
Pretty
it
crazy.
is.
So, how much content do you publish on the PBN sites?
On the PBN sites, not much, to be honest. I think like 3 or 4 posts and then like 2 pages and then not long form content. So yeah, like mostly 700 to 1,000 words per post. And then, yeah, that's it. Not more and not updated frequently. And yeah, it just stands there and it works.
Okay. And how many different domains and expired domains do you have in your network?
Yeah, like right now, I think maybe 80 in my native country and 25 in Germany or something.
Okay. And for each one of your sites, do you set up a separate PBN so that basically it spreads the risk? So if one network is identified, it doesn't impact all your sites. It just identifies the one PBN and the one site.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
People may be tempted, right? So if you set up a one
Yeah.
big network, you're like, oh, I'm just going to link to all my sites. So there's a maximum number of links going everywhere. But what's the issue with that? Did you realize, hey, that's a bad idea?
Yeah, well, I did realize that's a bad idea. I didn't link my PBN sites to each other so that they are, yeah, raising the domain authority of the others because all the PBNs link to each other. I thought that was very spammy, so I just focused on buying really good expired domains. And I one or twice I got like a domain with an authority of like 50 or 60, and then I made the choice to link that site to all the other PPN sites, not all the other, but 3 or 4. But for 90% of all these websites, you're just linking to my site.
Okay. Very cool. So the one thing that I remember when I had my network, which was maybe just around the size or maybe a little bit bigger, I can't remember, but
Mhm.
it's a lot of work to have all these domains. So just everyone imagine having, roughly like 100 domains where there's basically always every couple days there's going to be a new domain registration cost coming through. You potentially
Yeah,
have all these hosting accounts. Like, do you know how many hosting accounts you have total across all those sites?
total, I think like 7 or 8, but not more.
Okay, so you're able to kick off the other domains. You get a new IP address, but it's still on the same sort of hosting account or hosting company, right?
Yeah, great.
Okay, so 7 or 8. So that's not too bad. You have roughly whatever, like 12 or so domains on each of the hosting accounts. So there's a lot of work. Do you
Yeah.
have sort of a vision to grow the network more, or are you getting to sort of a breaking point of your network management?
Yeah, I think I'm not really exponentially growing my network more because I started with a brand new domain, and that's something I didn't say before. But the domain that I'm using, that's brand new, so I just registered it in September 2019. Yeah, what's the deal with that? You don't have authority. I've been in the sandbox and all that kind of thing. So I really had to acquire a lot of links to make prove Google actually that I am an authority in that niche. So when I achieved that point a few months ago, I stopped doing the PBN stuff, or kind of stopped doing the PBN stuff, and really focused on real links and get posts and that kind of stuff. So now I hope that it all floats in together, and then at one point I can remove all the PBN links. So it was really a quick start for me to get good links fast.
Okay. So you broke up just a little bit there, but basically you said you are planning on getting white hat links to essentially replace the PBN links.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us about that plan.
It's not really a plan yet, but I do have like kind of an idea on how that should work. First, I have to acquire all those natural links. So I'm going to do outreach and all that stuff. And then I will just, not really duplicate the link, but remove I acquire one link to one page, then I can remove one BBN link from that page, if you know what I mean.
Okay. And have you thought about, and I don't know the right way to do this. I've heard different
Me neither.
methods. Well, I actually did I don't know, this probably is during a time when you were in school and you weren't paying attention to internet marketing, but I did something called Project Go White Hat, where essentially it's exactly what you're talking about. PBNs were propping up the site. My
Mm-hmm.
friend and I basically replaced all of those links with guest posts and then sold the site. So you could check that out. Have you thought about just leaving the PBN links and then adding the white hat? And then if you ever run into an issue with a manual penalty, then you could just disavow and remove the links. I'm just curious. Some people would say just leave them all and then you could do something about it if you run into an issue.
Yeah, I can, but I always think that preventing to happen from that is way better than let it happen and then fix it after, because Google's always slow and it will hurt your income. So I want to go natural, but for now I think it's fine to just leave it there. But in the future I will replace it like with natural links.
Well said. Google is always trying to find, these link schemes and anyone trying to manipulate rankings. So pretty amazing. I'm so impressed that you pulled all this together in, just a little over a year. Is there anything else with like the link building or the PBN that you want to add, maybe people need to be aware of?
Yeah, yeah, I want. Because PBN only won't be enough for sure. You don't want your whole site to be standing on a PBN network. Make sure you have you can post forum links and that kind of stuff. So the links that you can place yourself, do it, like brand notations or site notations or comments. Not sure if that works really good, but like the forum things, do that. And also, if you can write a guest post for a site, it's better to have a really natural link scheme instead of only standing on the PBN. So even if the links are not the quality that you want them to be, make sure you have links from all the different kinds of sources, so that it looks very natural.
Okay. And you mentioned forum links there. So can you tell us how someone could do some of those like free link building techniques? Like how did you approach the forum links?
Yeah, it's just quite easy. Go for like Google search forum and then your niche keyword in it, and then you'll find some forums where people are discussing about what you're writing about. And then you can always, if you really answer their question, you can always link to your own site. That's it. It's really that simple.
And how many links would you estimate from forums does your site have?
I don't know, not really much. Maybe 1/10, something like that. 1/10.
Okay. So maybe like 8 or 10, something like that.
Maybe 20, 25.
Okay. 20, 25 forum links. And I take it that's, fairly quick. You just do the search. You maybe have to do a couple posts so you're not marked as a
Yeah,
spammer. Okay.
exactly.
All right. That's probably something you can potentially outsource too, depending on I imagine there are people on Upwork or otherwise that
Mhm.
specialize in doing that kind of work. Very cool.
True,
But you
but
did it all yourself, right?
yeah, and that's where I think that you have the power of yourself, so you can control everything you do yourself. And if you go and hire someone through Upwork, true, it's the time you save, but then you always have to check their work and guide the people to how to do it. And it's always a bit of a hassle. So I think for those little things, just do it yourself. Go for like a few hours, do only that, and then you will have a couple of links made.
Got it. All right. Well, this is an amazing story. Can you tell us how this has impacted your life? I know obviously you mentioned you quit school, so that's big, but what are some other areas where this is really making a big difference for you?
Yeah, well, right now I'm working in an office, a co-working space, kinda. Yeah, there is coronavirus now, so I can't do really much than sitting at home watching Netflix or working, or everything is closed here too. Yeah, it's really I changed my life in quitting school, and I also first had a part-time job. I quit that, so now I'm full-time affiliate marketing. And the good thing of that is that you can really make your own time scheme. You can do whenever you want, whatever you want. Because if you write a post today, you can publish it for next week or tomorrow, so you can take tomorrow or next week off. And that's a privilege I didn't have with like a part-time job or school. So that had big impact on my life.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, people can definitely follow along with the stuff you're doing over at digitalyoungster.com. And over there, you're going to be keeping people up to date with your income, some other details and stuff like that. So, any blog post or anything coming up where you're like, oh, I'm definitely going to do that? Just curious.
Yeah, in the future, I'm definitely gonna make a blog and give more tips and really teach people how to do the affiliate marketing thing. For now, I think I'll just stick to my email list and give loads of tips through there, because I think right now that's where I can give value, and I also need the time to invest in my own site. So putting up a whole new blog to do that's a bit time consuming right now.
Awesome. Well, looking forward to hearing where you're going and everything that you're doing. So, would love to have you back on to check in a few months. So, thanks, Nigel. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, Luck. Thank you.